This is a very, very special episode of From Dirt We Grow. I am Stephanie Kendall, and I'm here today to tell you about some things going on tomorrow. Rally is going on in Milwaukee, in West Bend, all over the nation. I have someone here today. Shelly is one of the organizers for, or one of the events that's going on in Montana. I found her online, obviously, but I was looking up mobilize.us, and find events going on all over. But tomorrow from 12 to 1:30, there's something going on at 3536 West Fond du Lac Avenue. It is Color of Change, Hands Off Mobilization. Hands off our Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, jobs. There's one in West Bend tomorrow at 1 p.m. The northwest corner of South Main Street and West Paradise in West Bend. Mobilize.us. Go on and check it out for yourself. I wanted to get this out so you guys get out there. There's one in Oconomowoc. There's one in Watertown. Let's hear what Miss Shelley has to say, and hopefully we'll get this going. We'll get people out there. Tell your friends. Tell everybody, share this. This is very important for our future, guys.
My name is Shelley Holland, and I'm one of the organizers for the Hands Off rally in Helena, Montana.
So how many organizers are there?
There's, I would assume, multiple for every town there.
They're each their own entity,
yes,
basically?
You're looking at, in Montana at least, and that's where I am, you're looking at from Helena, which is where I'm at. Not that I should probably say that out loud, but that's okay.
I am recording, by the way, but I can edit stuff,
so don't
worry. But I can.
It doesn't matter. They're coming for me regardless. But
that's the lady that was organizing it.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
So there's one pretty close to everybody.
Yes.
So at the rally, what is going to be taking place? What's going on?
So at our rally, we've got a guy who's going to come early and play the saxophone for us. And then we're going to kick it off with a little safety briefing, a lot of rah stuff, the usual rally type of a deal. We're going to talk about the things that have been going in our favor, because I think we need to have a little hope every once in a while. And we will have our speakers, and we are going to have, I think it's 5 speakers who are going to cover everything from how to reach out to the youth, LGBTQ issues, veterans issues, Social Security, Medicare and Medicaid. And then we're going to start have an open mic. And by that, I mean literally anybody from the crowd that wants to come up and tell their story about how this administration is impacting them and how they are coping with it, and maybe what they're doing to fight back, and how they are making their opinions known to their legislators, or how they're talking with their family or their friends, things like that, so that people have an idea of what they can do to help. And then we're going to wrap it all up with a closing that's going to talk about exactly that, about doing whatever activism motivates them and trying to get new ideas out there, because this is different. This is different than anything that anybody alive today has ever seen.
Yeah.
So we need to think about this differently. We need to do different things, and so we need the young people involved. We need people who have never been involved before. What is it that got you involved, and why do you want to do something, and what do you want to do? Because those are the people that are going to have the new ideas that are going to actually help change the narrative and move things forward for us.
Yeah, we absolutely need a change, and not even back to the way it was, which I would take right now over this.
No,
but systems that are in place before this need to be changed. Everything, it needs to be reformed. And I don't know if we can get that far, but at least I'll take going back to normal, I guess.
Here's the reality. I do not want to go back to normal. I don't have any desire to go there, because that's what got us here.
Oh, that's true.
And
Very
so
true.
Going back, we did that. And, no hate to Joe Biden, honestly, because he got us out of a lot of trouble from the last 4 years that Trump was in office. But that was what we did, is we went back. We went back to something that was normal. We went back to something that felt similar and secure for a lot of people, very clearly not all people. But we did that. We went back and we bounced right back to this mess. And so we should not go back. That should not be our goal. Our goal needs to be bigger than just overthrowing the fascists that are here right now. We need to they've already dismantled our systems. So when we build them back, let's actually build back something that will work for everyone instead of just some people. Let's make this the country that the United States was supposed to be, where its promises were. Let's actually fulfill that this time.
I completely agree. That's an amazing point. And like I said, I thought I might have been pushing too far, to say, hey, let's change the whole damn thing while we're at it. But
let's do it.
I mean, that's what I would love
to
see.
Let's change the whole damn thing while we're at it.
Yeah, if we're gonna do it, let's do it. That's true. You're right. So. But that's with the whole two-party system too. Like you were talking about, one comes in and does something and then the other one comes in and screws it all up, the other way around, whatever. But that's what I feel like we don't make any progress because this two-party system, it's somebody does something and then somebody else gets in office on the other side and then it's all taken back and then it goes the other way and then that goes over and over and over again and it's not going anywhere because it just keeps going back and forth.
And you're right.
I don't know what needs to happen, but something needs to happen.
I think what needs to happen, and so I'm old enough that I remember a day when they actually did work across the aisle and made some progress. Those days, a long time ago. They were a long time ago. When we got Joe Biden in office, we kind of went back to that because he actually did get a lot of things done. Was it as progressive as most of us wanted? No. Was it so much better than what we had? Absolutely. But now I think what I have come to the realization of is that when you have the kind of money that is pouring through Washington, and I'm talking about, obviously, the oligarchs and the corporations and all of that money, but also the fact that the consultants are making money hand over fist, particularly because everybody is fighting. And they don't have to work that hard to make us fight, right? They have to work a whole lot harder to make us come together. So why would they do that?
Absolutely.
Right? Let's take the easy way out, make them fight. We have been fighting the same battles for my entire life. Roe v. Wade, my entire life. It became a thing when I was very young, and then we have fought about it ever since.
And now it's going to be, taken away.
And then it got overturned.
Yeah, it's over and over and over.
Why did it not get enshrined in legislation? Because they were fighting over it. It was the money, because it makes a great way to make money on both sides of whatever argument you're on. So let's get the money out of Washington. Let's overturn Citizens United. Let's reduce the amount of money that any entity can donate down to, $2,500 is the most anybody can ever donate. Eliminate advertising. And let's get politicians back in town halls talking to the people that they represent.
Working for the people that they represent. Advocating for the people that they represent. Championing for the people that they represent. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Exactly.
Yep.
I completely agree. And
so it all comes down to the money, because if you look at any of these issues, they could have been solved, but they made such great talking points.
Yep, very true. Very true. I'm wondering about the rallies. Are they going to be live streamed at all, or are they going to be recorded? Like the people talk.
The place is going to be different. Some are going to absolutely do that because they're going to want to be big and bold and out there and all of that. Others, I would imagine, are not going to do that for exactly the opposite reason.
Okay.
If they feel like they're in a smaller place and could be targeted more easily.
Targeted easily.
So I think it's going to be a mix. I mean, there's so many of these going on. And so when you look at every state, and every state is going to do the same thing, you've got everybody's way of going about things. They're all going to be different. We're not doing this
their own way.
What really speaks to them and their community and what they need. And it's grassroots. I'm just a random person that showed up at a rally, met another random person from another town who showed up at the same rally on President's Day when it was 5 below and the wind was blowing. And we recognized that we had similar, aspirations.
Okay.
Saving democracy, and we joined forces and started putting on rallies. That is how organic this is. This is not something that somebody is telling us to do, and so we're going out there with our little marching orders and making it happen. In our case, random Montanans getting together and making something happen.
Well, I want to thank you for doing that. I want to thank you for organizing all this and helping out with that. And I mean, we need this. This is something, and hopefully we're heard. Hopefully it makes a difference. Can you go ahead and say the website or what you would look up again for getting involved?
Yeah, mobilize.us. They've got filters. You can filter based on your state, your town, whatever, and be able to know where you're going to be, where you should be.
Please get out there for this cause and look up mobilize.us and find one near you. They are all over the place. This is From Dirt We Grow. Thanks for being here.